Some residents have voiced deep concern about the pace and scale of residential, economical, and industrial development in Madison County. They worry that rapid growth could erode the county's rural character, strain infrastructure, and diminish the farmland and open spaces that define the community's identity. For these residents, questions about how much new growth the county can responsibly absorb are central to preserving the landscape, culture, and way of life that generations have valued. Others believe that continued growth is essential to expanding opportunity, strengthening the local economy, and ensuring long-term success.
How do you balance the perspectives of preservation and responsible growth?
Well, there's no doubt that the growth has eroded from our society. All of our historical or agriculture. I have a degree in animal science and agriculture at Eastern Kentucky University and a minor in business. And I've watched the road I live on, which is Boonesboro Road, I've totally watched it erode over the years. The most beautiful land in our county, which would be Happy Days Valley on our north end of the county, that was taken by the folks in California. They purchased it, and now it's going to be all solar panels. That's an erosion of what we love in this county. The reason I'm running for judge is to try to save the historical value and our agriculture value in our land. I could care less about more houses. I really don't think there's a need right now. We've got houses, we've got apartments. If we didn't build another house, the people that live in this county would be happy, and we'd all survive. All I have to do as judge is find you ways, and I'll be happy to share ways to generate money so you don't have to be taxed for that money.
Do you believe there should be limits to growth in Madison County? And if so, what should those look like?
Well, in my view, the limits are backwards right now. Whenever you look at the planning and zoning committees and the way they're set up, it's all for the developer, all limits. As long as they match the limits that's required by our boards, it's legal to do. That's not right. The community should have the limits, should be setting the limits. The people in our communities, I feel like, should be the ones that sit down at the table and say, we should not be allowed to build another 500 houses until we have a 4-lane road. We should not be allowed to have another 1,000 house communities pop up until there's a right of way to get out of that property onto the main roads. You can't have developments with one entrance and one exit. There has to be ways to get in and out, and so far, if you look, our developments are based on dollar per acre. That's all that matters to what's in that development. We don't have fire safety in most of them. The old ones don't at all. Our water is 20 years behind. We have to catch up to go forward.
What is your plan to stop residential development and preserve our farmlands?
I don't think you can ever completely stop. That's not an answer. If you say that, you're just giving a political answer. What we have to do is balance between what we can do. Before we build, there has to be a way to operate what we build. It's not economical for me to say, put another 100 homes here. If you have no access to water, or you have no access to fire safety, you have the schools are already clustered and people can't drive by them. That has to be factored into it. If you're going to sit in traffic for 30 minutes at the entrance to that community, we don't need that community until we get the infrastructure caught up.
Okay. Would you use the government power of eminent domain to achieve your goals in office?
I would probably never use it. I'm not going to say it's 100% something that you never will need, because there'll be an example that would make me wrong. But when they eminent domainly took the town cinema off Main Street to build a parking lot, I thought that was wrong. There were families involved, if you recall, they all protested, nobody cared. The Roduses at that time owned a town cinema and the drive-in. We no longer have a drive-in, we no longer have a town cinema. Those are both assets to our community, I think. They should have been taken care of by our officials.
A government of the people must be open in its actions and receptive to the perspectives of those it represents, in our case, the citizens of Madison County. Transparency and responsiveness are not optional. They are the foundation of public trust and effective leadership, and fundamental to good governance.
How can elected officials prioritize the needs of the people over the needs of their donors?
Well, first of all, you have to identify the needs of the people. I think it's more important than the needs of the donor. It's our community, and they're coming into it. So what I would do is have town hall meetings. I don't mean at 9 o'clock in the morning when people can't come. I would probably have the fairgrounds, which I've been on that board for 31 years, use it freely so 100 to 200, 300, 400 people could come and have a discussion. And we'll find out what the needs of the community are first. And then I already know the needs of the developer. They're all the same.
How do you plan to reach out to the public on important issues that come up in the next 4 years?
Well, it'll depend on the magnitude of the issue, and that'll be the approach. It'll depend on what it is that we're discussing, and if we can have discussions. The worst thing I think that I ever see when I watch a meeting on the internet or on TV channel is when the judge says, we won't take that question today, we're done. I'll never say that. I told a young lady earlier I would never use that term. I think everybody should have a voice and everybody should be heard.
Madison County faces significant maintenance and infrastructure needs. Responsible growth requires that essential systems be able to support increased demand, including improvements to roadways, mitigation of traffic congestion, and ensuring adequate response times for EMS and other emergency services.
How will you work with the State Road Department to get state roads within the county to be improved?
Well, the first thing I'll do with the state is try to go back to our old agreement we had for years and years. I'll try to renew our contracts with the state, where the county took care of the state roads and was paid so much a mile to do it. We mowed the roads, we cleared snow removal, we took care of our citizens of the county like they were all equal. Now we drive by people on state roads with our snow blades up and will not plow that road. Let the state come later and our citizens suffer. That's not right. I disagree 100% with that concept. I would try to get those contracts back the first week I'm in office. If I have to go to Frankfurt and make the deal, I'll do it for free if I have to for the citizens of this county.
Are there currently any plans to expand sewer services in Madison County?
I'm not really familiar with sewage and the sewer plans. I know if it's like any other plan we have, it's 20 years behind. And right now, when they talk about their comprehensive plan, my quote to Reagan Taylor, my quote to Reagan Taylor was, I think your comprehensive plan is incomprehensible. And we need to look at all of our infrastructure, and that's all you're hearing from all our politicians, infrastructure, roads. They give you no answers. They say the same thing over and over. I will give you an answer that has an outcome.
What is your plan to improve and maintain the county roads? Will this plan support your planned growth of the county?
Well, there are certain places in the county that will need more than others, of course. I look at Highway 25 to Berea, and I think in 50 years, there has been a quarter of a mile improved on this end and a quarter of a mile improved on the other end. If you look at the pictures from 50 years ago, there's nothing been done in the middle. So they've actually made bottlenecks on both ends. And with the bypasses now complete, even though not enough lanes on the bypasses they put in. When Berea put in a bypass with the lanes they put in, I didn't understand. It's like they're putting it in for today, not for the next 10, 15, 20 years. And that's not right. So I would improve state funding through my probably state representatives and my senators that I can talk with and go to Frankfurt with. And I will probably hire some lobbyists to work for us every day in Frankfurt.
The current water system outside the cities is not designed to support firefighting needs. For example, there are no rated fire hydrants in Madison County. What plans do you have to improve the water system?
Well, once again, I'll say the water systems are all 20 years behind. And we have just put our internet cables inside our water lines to reduce the water flow that much more. Volume, everyone knows you have to have certain volume in a line to have pressure. And the more volume you reduce by all the houses coming on this end, the people at the other end will have a trickle when they take a shower. And we're getting very near to that now. Certain times of the day you'll have less water pressure than you will other days and other times of the day. But as far as we'll just have to start from the tragic places and fix those and work our way back. You can't fix the first year or the first day what's not been done for 20 years. We've had 12 years of the administration we have now, and all we focused on was building, not the infrastructure. Everyone in this county knows that. It's simple. It'll take some time to catch up.
What resources will be taken from other parts of the county for the new fire station in the north of the county?
I'm really sick about that. I visited the bus garage yesterday, which is right next to the fire station, that they're going to do away with, which actually is the fire station that would come to my call if I had a fire at my house. I deserve that protection the same as a rich subdivision that's up against the river or a new development's going in. I'm sure there were deals made to put a fire station in a place that has one avenue out in one direction. There's a river behind it and a straight bluff off the other side. Most places of that magnitude that you need for services such as they're going to provide would be in a central location where they can provide for citizens on all sides of them, not just one, a big fancy subdivision.